Hey there folks, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Brave story. I'm the MysteriousJG. Haven't played in a little while, so I wanted to give you guys kind of a quick plot recap. So, Rabanastre is a city where Van lives, and he's got a friend he's known for his whole life named Pinello, and his brother died helping Bosch. And there's an evil empire that took over, but they're not that evil. They're just kind of evil, and because we've got good characters from that evil empire too. And so the evil empire has occupied the city, and Van decided, hey, I'm going to go steal some stuff. And along the way, he met some folks, and one of them is the princess, and she's secretly trying to take the control of the kingdom back. And he ends up running into her some more just based on some bad people kidnapping Pinello. And he runs around trying to help Pinello, and that keeps him in the company of various space pirates, or sky pirates, and the princess and stuff. And eventually they go to the Tomb of Wraithwall because they're trying to get a magic crystal, which they think is going to solve all their problems. And now they got the magic crystal, but they don't know how to use it. So they're heading for Mount Bur Amasis, where they've been trying to get to for quite a while. Because I had a whole bunch of videos of me wandering around doing stuff that the plot doesn't want me to do yet, just trying to, sequence break the game as best I can. But what we're supposed to be doing for quite a while now is making our way to Mount Bur Amasis. Well, first we went to Not Ariute Village. We went to Jahara, I guess, wherever the freaking weird masked guys are, because they were supposed to be able to tell us how to use this crystal that we got from the Tomb of Wraithwall. The Dawn Shard, which is supposed to give us the power to stop the Empire. But they were like, oh, we don't know how to use it. Go to Mount Bur Amasis. So now we're going to Mount Bur Amasis. Now, it should be noted that on our way to Mount Bur Amasis, I was also trying to go to other places out of order just for the hell of it. And we ended up going to a big temple-like place that was guarded by people who say, you can't come here until you talk to the chief of Mount Bur Amasis. So now we're going to go talk to the chief of Mount Bur Amasis, and I have a sneaking suspicion he's going to tell us to go to the big temple-looking place that we couldn't go to without talking to him first. Just a hunch I have. Anyway, you got Van, the hero, is kind of generic. Balthier, this sky pirate, who's some people claim he's the main character. His backstory, once we finally find it out, will make him connect to the story a little more than he does currently. We have Fran, who's a bunny girl with a thong. It's kind of sad. Bosch, who's like the noble knight, who has been framed for crimes he didn't commit. Ash is the princess who's trying to get the crystal. Pinello is even more generic than Van. She's like generic girl who Van protects, I guess. I don't know. And then Larsa is good person from Bad Empire, but he's only a part-time party member, which is why it's weird that he's several levels above the rest of us. Let's go talk to whoever's going to allow us to advance the plot, which I believe will be on the other side of this next screen. Because we're at the temple approach. I told you there's a temple, but this isn't the temple. This is the temple where the guy's at. There's another thing that's like a giant temple that we can't go into without talking to the guy. So let's go talk to the guy. I want to be the guy, but I don't really. Yeah, we've been here. This is the last screen we explored at the end of the last video, and if we advance into this, I got to admit, man, see, for all of the this game is hugely improved by the feature where you can go into 4 times game speed and run around really fast through big expanses of territory where the enemies are below your level and you're not in any kind of danger. And where you can run around through the towns at great speed. Because the big issue I had with this game playing it years ago on the PS2 was that it's just so long. And not even long in terms of a long story. It just had it was kind of like after Final Fantasy X had a story I really enjoyed but was super linear. This game gave us the opportunity to spend several hours exploring a section to the north of Dalmasca that we're not really supposed to be at yet, but it lets you do that. It's in some ways it's like the big, hey, we're getting into the MMORPG thing. Let's do let's kind of flesh out some ideas on how we'll do that in a single-player game. I kind of feel like that's a little bit like what happened, even though their first multiplayer version was 11 and this is 12. But that's greatly improved. But I always thought, even when I had my problems with how the game felt like a huge time sink, slowly traversing these big empty wastes to get from one plot point to another, it always had some really fun fantasy design. And Van's looking at some of it right now. And this is a pretty badass looking fantasy location. I mean, you could just argue, this is some freaking wannabe, the Gondor, or whatever, the White Tower of Gondor. I don't remember all that stuff all that well. But I mean, you could say, this is just Tolkien wannabe stuff. But it's a pretty cool design. Some of these buildings is just a big, fancy, cool, fantasy-looking building where there's really not that much behind all the different stuff. It's just, hey, look at how neat this looks. We're not going to explain it, but yeah. And then the different species in this game are never really all that well explored, I think. You're in Lord Lars's party, yes? The Grand Kiltius awaits within. You shall find him through these doors. And it's Grace of the Holy something, but I actually didn't stop to read what it said. I'd already hit the button. Hall of Light. And I wanted to start singing a song from The Apple, which was a movie parodied on riff tracks, but I can't remember what the actual... Something, something, child of light. I don't remember what it was. His Grace Anastasis waits ahead. His Grace the Grand Kiltius is a dream sage. He has known of your coming for some time. What's really going to mess up your mind later is, would you have broken the glass if I hadn't told you were going to? Ooh. That'll cook your noodle. So you're not even one of the weird guys? You're just like a regular dude who has a bunch of little weird hunched over guys working for you? Okay. Hi, don't worry about my friends. They're not important. I thought you were waiting for my arrival. I thought this was a big deal for you, too. So who's going to talk first? You or me, Larsa? Maybe this guy.
Is he sleeping?
No, my child.
Whoa.
I do not sleep.
I just project my thoughts out.
I dream.
So
For
you sleep.
reality and illusion are a duality. Two parts of a whole.
Everywhere and
Only
nowhere.
The mirror of dreams reflects what is true.
And only the mirror of truth reflects what is dreams. Meaningless babble.
Anastasis, your grace. I am a
I know your name. Oh, wait. Lay down your words.
Ashelia, daughter of Ramanas, I have dreamt your dream.
Look, asshole, I'm a princess. I get to
Who
talk.
better to carry on the Dalmascan line than she who bears the Dawn Shard?
Do we have to listen to this?
Your dream of a kingdom restored is known to me.
And that, as they
Grand
say,
Kiltius,
is that.
Then give us your blessing. Grant the lady.
Lay down your words, I told you.
This is something you might reconsider.
What? Fake Euro, man.
My little emperor in waiting. You called and I have come.
You Liebchen? That's not... Yeah, what
This
the
is
hell,
the
man?
man I wanted you to meet.
The greasy
Believe it or
Italian?
not, he is a member of the noble house Margrace, rulers of the Rosarian Empire.
Button up your
I am
shirt,
but
my
one of
liege.
Very, very many. Try as I might, I could not stop this war alone. Thus, I came seeking Lars's assistance.
Could you get a comb or something? He doesn't even shake his hair out, like... So-
Alcide Margrace at your service.
This character, whom I dimly remember from playing before, spoiler alert, doesn't show... Like, they build him up in his first appearance like he's going to be really important. He doesn't really show up that much, but if the game had even a little ability to stop taking itself seriously for a minute, he's, like, set up to be the comic relief in a game that just doesn't do comic relief right. But anyway.
I think I stand before the Lady Ash. It is truly an honor.
I think my chest is even nicer than yours. That's why I keep it exposed. All right.
I see it is true after all. Stunning is Dalmasca's desert bloom.
Don't touch me.
In Arcadia, Larsa. In Rosaria, Al Cid.
The world is clearly fucked.
Dream not of war. Should empire join with empire, the way will open for a new Evilise in our time.
We'll make Evilise great again.
Much of dreams, but in the real world, war is upon us.
Grand
Ponu?
Kiltius, I was told my coming here would prevent this war.
You're coming?
I was
Oh,
to
did you
assume
like
my
that guy that
father's
much?
throne and announce the restoration of Dalmasca, treat with the Empire for peace, and persuade the Resistance to stay their hand. I have not
Drop
come
your
all
words
this
or
way
whatever
to
I
be
said
asked to reconsider.
Lay down your
A
words I
word
told you
from
earlier.
The resistance would stop cold, and Rosaria's pretext for joining the war scattered off to the four winds.
Tuning?
This was what we had hoped. Alas, circumstances change.
No, you're going to be our puppet state instead of Larsa's.
Death. Were it to become known you are still alive, I fear it could only worsen our current situation.
So I'm going to
Because
kill you.
I am powerless to help.
Nay, in fact, it has little to do with you.
You're pretty
Then what?
irrelevant to all of this.
If Lady Ash were to extend her hand in friendship, perhaps
To get
I could then
smooched.
persuade the Emperor. His Excellency will solve things peacefully.
The Emperor Gramis is no more. His life was taken.
Oh, we missed that cinema scene. I guess we're getting that cinema scene now. Didn't we just see him in the last video and like Magitech on him?
Possible cause could we have to lay hand on our emperor?
A deception and an outrage. The Senate will not stand
It's like a
for
whole
this.
country of Tatujans with all that clanking. I guess there was one. I can't remember what it was called though.
Amongst our
With
senators.
Chairman
Viper?
Roth as its head. With what dignity remained him, he confessed to the poisoning and passed his own
A
sentence.
viper with many tails. Much of the Senate is culpable.
We had no choice but to strip
Everybody
the Senate
slow
of
down.
authority and assign powers of autocracy to myself until such time as order.
Spare me your lies.
No
I see the
choice.
serpent coiled here before me.
Trace, you speak too freely.
Zargabath. Do not tell me you join in his mama's farce.
Wait, Zargabath, is that someone's name or is that a curse? And Mummers? Really? Mummers?
With Rosaria poised to invade at any moment, our leader must have a free hand.
Chopped off. I'm gonna kill you last. Well, first, probably.
The once great House Solidor is now reduced to myself and my dear brother Larsa.
We must produce
Surely you
offspring
will not go
immediately,
so
with each
far.
other.
Vain Solidor! As Judge Magister and upholder of the law, I hereby place you under arrest.
I don't think so.
You misunderstand. Vane did not make himself autocrat. It was the very Ministry of Law which you serve. Do you see it now, Drace?
You're
when
fucked.
you bared your sword at His Excellency, you bared your sword at the law.
I didn't break the law. I am the
You wear
law.
the mama's motley well, Bergen.
Wait, now Mummers Motley. Zumberfast or whatever I said before. Moomin chance. Wait, what? Did he just block her and then, like, he's giving her the iron claw? She was apparently terrible at her job as being a badass fighter. No, but I see her chest heaving.
Strength. Inhuman.
No one could single-hand choke slam me.
Zargabath, take the Alexander. You will accompany Bergen and bring Larsa back to me.
Sire,
Oh man, we're gonna lose Larsa as our, like, little extra guy to get whacked by enemies.
Lord Larsa was placed under my charge.
Too bad, so sad.
Oh? Perhaps you mistook your orders then. I can see no other explanation for why you were reporting and conjecturing on my doings to my late father.
Your Excellency.
A hound begging for scraps at the Emperor's table. Would you serve another master, hound?
Well, now my current one's dead,
You
yeah.
may fulfill your duty as Judge Magister before us all.
Oh, you mean pick her up and help her get well again?
She has been tried and found guilty.
Your Excellency, I beg you reconsider.
Which one are you? Aren't you the one we've already fought twice? So they're... I guess all these judges... We're meant to know these judges. From the one cinematic where they were all talking to each other before. And their faces were covered. Making it impossible to know who the fuck is who. But I guess he's proving his loyalty by murdering the chick who actually stood up to Vane. And finally, Vane's acting like a proper villain.
I care not.
Whoever you are, you're a wonderful man. Kill me! She don't give a fuck.
Live, Gabrantha. Protect the young lord. Protect Lartha.
Protect the young master Machow. So that he can defeat Boba the Vulture in a duel.
Forgive me.
Oh, innocent ones.
Pray be quick.
I'll cut your head clean off if that's what'll make it fastest. This is not the cinematic I was expecting when we went to see the Master of Orm Brahman. So I guess we don't know.
So House Solidor lives on.
We don't know for sure that he killed his father, but that certainly seems to be what's happened here.
Let us suppose you approach the Empire with a peaceful resolution.
Which
The
Empire?
late Emperor Gramis would have lent you his ear, that much is certain. But we are dealing with Vane Solidor.
He's a jerk.
Should the princess return, he would claim her an impostor, or to tempt the resistance into battle.
Do we know that, though?
Vane wants this war, that much is certain. As our ill luck would have it, the man is a military genius.
The dreams have told me thus.
I probably should have mentioned it earlier.
Would imperil us all. I see war, and Vane's name writ bold on history's page.
So you guys can go home. It doesn't. Alright, so the chick, I really wish you could pause without blacking out the background, but without blocking out the image. But I just noticed, and I don't want to talk too much over the dialogue, that the attendant for weird fake Euro accent man, or like different Euro accent man, they all have weird fake Euro accent, but he's like some kind of weird Italian, Spanish, fairyland mix. His attendant who took his sunglasses from him without a word is dressed as a Japanese schoolgirl. So just a little chance for a little splash of fan service.
They are making ready
She's
for
kind of like armor-plated Japanese schoolgirl.
According to our latest reports, the
Oh, never mind. This is hentai porn.
Under Vane's command, no less. The newly formed 12th Fleet has already been deployed. Oh yes, the Imperial First Fleet stands ready. They'll be underway as soon as the Odin's refit is complete. And there is more. The second Caravan Expeditionary Force is being called in to replace the missing 8th, so there will be no gaps. The largest force ever seen.
What do you want me to do?
The Nethicite is the coup de grace.
It's pronounced coup de Gracie?
Grand Kiltius, your grace.
Oh wait, it is.
I
She
spoke to
actually
you
said
of
it
my
right.
succession. Let us put that aside.
Lay down your words. You don't get to talk, girl.
As I am, I can protect nothing.
Yep.
With a greater power at my disposal, perhaps then.
Nah, perhaps not.
It is the Nethicite of which you dream.
Will you tell me, Dream Reader asshole?
Something far greater.
Double Nethicite.
To wield power against power.
His eyes finally opened. He was
Truly,
shocked.
The words of a human child.
So you fucking disgust
from
me.
The Dynast King himself.
Indeed. Then you have but one choice. Seek you the other power Wraithwall left.
In some temple that I already went to but couldn't get into without talking to you first.
Journey across the Paramana Rift to the still shrine of Miriam.
Oh, the place we went to that we've already been in but
Gift
couldn't get in.
entrusted to the Grand Kiltius of his time. Seek it out. The Sword of Kings can cut through Nethicite.
What? Is that a big deal or not? I don't really know.
Trust the power to destroy Nethicite, the instrument of his greatness, to another and not to his own progeny, I cannot say.
Perhaps the answer lies in the tale of Shuyin and Len.
Take up your sword, or your dream will remain but a dream.
Even though dreams are the most important thing, apparently, to me, Mr. Dream Magic Reader guy. Sorry about your dead dad. See you later. And I'm asleep again.
Fades into day.
Daybreaker. Larsa leaves the party, and I don't think we ever get him back. So, but that part of the reason, part of the reason I was exploring all these other avenues, there was at least one Esper that we probably could have gotten to, and fought at this point, but I put it off. I think we'd reached the point where with Larsa, where even though his level kept going up, without any gear, he was just like dying too easy and really just distracting our healers more than anything else. But yeah, I was trying to get as many little like, hey, we'll get the Death Seraph and we'll get such and such optional Esper. I was trying to get as much of that stuff as possible while we still had a fourth party member. I did not know exactly when Larsa was going to leave the party, but I guess it's now. And like I said, don't think we get him back. Not positive. Thanks. And we don't get to talk to. Okay, she's not wearing a schoolgirl skirt, but she's definitely wearing like, you know. Yeah, she's got the schoolgirl blouse, and Alcid is a big old perv. Larsa has gone to the inner sanctum with the Grand Kiltias. I believe the news of the Emperor's assassination came as something of a shock. Was I overly direct? Perhaps. No matter. He is in good hands, no? Larsa has gone to the inner sanctum with the Grand Kiltias. I believe the news of the assassination. I just read this. I, for some reason, thought this was slightly new dialogue. Oh, Larsa, I would have liked to have been able to say goodbye, but you went into the inner sanctum, which, I don't know, did this giant fucking statue move and there was a door behind it? I didn't see any inner sanctum. I don't see a door that's just like, yeah, you can't go in there, that's the inner sanctum, sorry. And even if it's not on the map, because it's like, oh, you never get to go in that room, so we didn't include it on the map. There's no, I mean, does he like hop across the pond here and go over there somewhere? Does he climb the statue and up, you know, there's a little door behind it? Whatever. It makes sense there would be a like private chambers of that guy that you don't get to just go into. But the Sword of Kings is held within the Silshime Miriam. Go start to the part. Well, you've already been there. Who am I kidding? Sacred Mountain Gagazet light may lack strength in arms. We are not powerless. Grand Kiltias can sway Arcadia and Rosaria. War can be averted. Why am I now talking like this? I didn't even notice you there, buddy. You don't have like a little icon floating over your head to indicate I can talk to you. Spoken like a human child, talking about getting power for destructive purposes. You make me sick. What the fuck species do I belong to anyway? No matter. So much. Got into a brief discussion. Well, I'm not going to go into this, but discussion with my brother-in-law and my sister about. There's like a big anti-human vent to a lot of fantasy fiction. It's true, and it's kind of odd. So much of fantasy literature, a little bit of it with sci-fi, but a lot with fantasy is anti-humanist. Like the humans who exist in the stories are like the biggest assholes, and like the Harry Potter universe, Muggles are pretty much always kind of portrayed as being worthless jackasses, and then we started getting into a conversation about that, which went south very quickly. But like, yeah, Muggles are kind of worthless, and I have not read any of the Twilight books, but the whole thing is like, there's vampires, there's werewolves, they're both like awesome and sexy and cool, and humans just kind of suck. Go to the Still Shrine to claim the Sword of Kings. But this game, too, is like every time someone mentions Hume specifically, it's to say that they suck and that they're fucking assholes. And all they care about is having the power to kill everybody. You go to the Still Shrine to claim the Sword of Kings. So the power to King Wraithwell gave to Kilkias once more. Gives graces history stage where we maintain the entrance of the Still Shrine of Miriam. Here is the I don't know that word. I consider myself somebody of above average intelligence and education for an American of my age bracket, but what the hell is that word? Oh, don't tell me. Freaking tell me that. Oh, oligarchies or republics can be oligarchies too. Yeah. Why don't you tell me about the difference between buccaneers and privateers and pirates? I don't know what a demesne is. I know how to freaking I know how to pass the CPA exam. There's no question on the CPA exam about the Still Shrine of Miriam or the Vizand of Kados and this other fancy bullshit. Be wary, friend. Yeah, I know the word wary. I know that it's a word you throw around when you're trying to sound all cool and educated. Alright, well, there's probably lots of optional dialogue here with people telling me about, oh, the Still Shrine of Miriam, the place you already knew you had to go. Well, it is a place of ancient, mystical, whatever. Okay, I actually got the noise out of this guy, so. The word of his grace and its is our path of salvation. Never mind, I guess I didn't say anything new. You're probably far enough out now that they stop having new things to say, so off with you. And then there's... So the most common races that we're seeing other than the humans and I guess the Mughals are the big pig guys and the lizard guys. And they at least are just kind of, by and large, are being portrayed as like just regular old schmoes trying to make it in a tough world. But then we find the, like, every other race we come across are like, we are the beautiful and delicate and refined and sophisticated bunny women who are disgusted that you're even present in our wonderful bunny girl forest, polluting it with your disgusting humanness. So, anyway, got off on a bit of a tangent there, but, so basically I want to go south. If I just go south, then the southern, sort of the central exit, then I'll have a little screen where I can start going back to south again. I'm thinking what makes sense to me is, and again, I love this. This makes the game so much better that we can do this. Because there would be like the better part of a video just walking here. But what I want to do is we can let this video... Ah, shoot. But that's the downside. But we can let this video go very slightly long. And actually next time we'll be right there at the Kiltias, Vizand of Kados, Miriam, Still Shrine of the Fantasy, whatever the fuck. We'll be ready to go with our next objective. And as I play this, the more I play this, the more I realize I'm the worst LPer to do this. This is a game that you could like an Ald or a Grimmeth or somebody could like really take the lore seriously. And to walk this rift in ice and snow, this is part of our asceticism. But yeah, you could really take the lore seriously and have a lot of fun with it. But just my pissiness about the lore kind of undercuts a lot of what makes the game cool. I mean, some of it's just like, yeah, this is just like pseudo Tolkien, and it's not really very exciting. I mean, but then again, that's a lot of what Dungeons and Dragons is. It's just, it's take some Tolkien and drop in a snifter of some, other mythologies that's like real mythology, and we'll throw in a couple of our own ideas and go from there. But yeah, this game, it's tricky when you do whole fantasy world like this, which doesn't connect in with anything else. So you put a lot of work into it, but it's kind of hard to care about it because even in the Final Fantasy Tactics universe, as far as I know, like half of these crazy species we're running into had nothing to do with the original Final Fantasy Tactics. And I know there's been it's a broader Evil East universe that I haven't played all the games out of, but I kind of feel like some of this stuff there's not a whole lot of point in really diving into it and exploring it because it's never going to show up again. That's what I'm getting at. Does that by itself mean it's not worth exploring? I don't know. Anyway, as you can tell from that glory shot of Fran's butt, we're entering into a new zone. And again, there's more of a sense of grandeur and anticipation, but it's also a much greater test of your patience when you can't go through 4 times speed in these big, empty, like, oh my god, look at how impressive this location is. And, you know, it's a video game. It's not like you build a huge structure like this in the real world in antiquity to show off the incredible power and prestige of the ruler. In a video game, it's just like, let's give you a huge, huge screen that you have to walk through at a snail's pace. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and call that a video. When we come back, we will be going into whatever fancy fantasy word I didn't recognize that got me all pissed off in the first place, of that basically meant lair, of fell and dangerous monsters. That'll be next time, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.